We're going to be talking about self-esteem. I was in the middle of my workout and thinking about, what has transpired over the last few years and thinking about where my life is at right now. And recently I had this like intense moment of like gratitude. It was at this music festival that I am currently at right now with my brother, my wife, and my best friend. And just realizing that like I am living the life that I always fucking wanted. And every day is always going to be a work in progress and there's always things to work on. But like, I'm absolutely 100% in love with myself. Like, I'm in love with myself. I'm in love with who I am. I'm in love with how I show up. I'm in love with what my life looks like. I'm in love with how I lead. I'm in love with how I show up as a friend. Like, I like absolutely 100% love myself. And it got me thinking because like the amount of internal self-confidence that I feel now on a day-to-day basis is second to none. And I can remember a time in my life where I had a hard time looking at myself in the mirror. Never mind loving myself. Like I could barely look at myself in the mirror. And when I did, I was disgusted. I was disgusted with how I was showing up. I was disgusted with my attitude. I was disgusted with my mindset. I was disgusted with my addiction. I was like absolutely disgusted with myself. And to be able to flip that to the other side and look at myself in the mirror and be proud of not only who I am, but who I am becoming made me realize that I need to have a conversation with you guys about self-esteem because everything that happens in your life is a direct reflection of your consciousness and how you perceive the world and how you show up. And I had a guy, comment on my live stream the other day and he asked me the question. He said, B, how much of your success do you think has to do with personal development versus business skills? And I replied to him, and I was like, all of it has to do with personal development, 100% of it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but everybody listening to this right now wants to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month. Am I right? If I am right, let me know. We all want more money. We all want more financial freedom. We all want more success. And so in the process of seeking that success, we are looking for the things that are going to change our financial situation externally. We're looking for a lead generation strategy. We're looking for a piece of content that can go viral. We're looking for, the best challenge to do for New Year's. We're looking for the best thing that we can do externally to hit the next level. However, I want you guys to know that every single thing that's come to me in my life, whether that be financial freedom, whether that be my relationships, whether that be my friends, whether that be opportunities, whether that be speaking, whether that be podcasting, whether that be every single fucking thing that I've ever done is on the other side of personal development. And I have an absolute 100% conviction and faith in myself that is not built on self-confidence. It's built on self-esteem. And because I have a very high esteem of self, I have a very high perception of my own worth. It is easy for me to command more from the universe, command more from myself, and command more from my business, lead my team more. So how do we develop self-esteem? How do we develop self-confidence? How do we develop this ability to be able to not only feel good about ourselves, but have that feeling of I love myself literally radiating from us so loud that it attracts everything that we could ever want? Self-esteem. I used to believe that the way that I got self-esteem was actions. Okay. So when I was a drug addict, I wish I could find journals from when I was an addict and I could show you guys what I believed at that time. So, like, when I was a drug addict, I used to write while I was an addict, and I would write about how I'm going to be successful and I'm going to be wealthy and I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to be rich and I'm going to be abundant and I'm going to be like, even as a fucking addict, I used to believe that I was going to be successful. And I would be there high off my ass writing about how I was going to be successful. So I used to believe that, actions were going to get me closer to success. And so I would just do the things that I'm supposed to do to grow my business. And I would do them. But my mind wasn't there, right? I would do them, but my heart wasn't in it. I would do the things that were supposed to get me success, but I was never able to sustain my success. I was focusing on taking the actions that were going to get me closer to success, but I was ignoring one of the key ingredients to self-esteem. So I'm curious, listening to this right now, what do you think causes self-esteem? I'm curious. Is it Do you believe that self-esteem comes from results? Do you believe that the self-esteem comes from actions? Do you believe that self-esteem comes from affirmations? Like, where do you believe the actual like root? And we're not talking about self-confidence, which I believe is something that can come and go. I'm talking about self-esteem. And my definition of esteem is like you literally radiate confidence on a day-to-day basis, whether or not you mean to. So where do you think self-esteem comes from? So I used to believe that actions led to self-esteem. Actions by themselves would get me esteem. However, I woke up every day when I was an addict hating myself. I woke up hating myself. And in order to get rid of my self-hatred, I would drown myself in drugs and alcohol to silence the voices inside of my mind. Because every time I wasn't on drugs and alcohol, all I could hear was my own demons, and they were screaming so loud that I could barely breathe. They were screaming so loud that I could barely think. They were screaming so loud that they drowned out any sort of faith, hope, or optimism that I might have had about changing my life. And so every day, even though I was taking actions that should lead me to success, like posting on social media and, signing clients, even though I was taking actions, I was missing the one thing that is another key ingredient in esteem. So let's flip it to the other side, because I think that a lot of people try to develop self-confidence or self-esteem with the other side. And the other side of the equation is words, right? How many of you guys use affirmations in your life right now? If you do, say me in the chat and let me know. If you use affirmations, let me know. So most people either use actions or they use words. And, we all get into personal development. And as we start developing self, we start realizing that, we need to change the conversations that we're having with ourselves. And so what we do is we go to the mirror and we look at ourselves and we tell ourselves that we're beautiful. We tell ourselves that we're worthy. We tell ourselves that we deserve success. However, this feeling of unworthiness just creeps up on us from the inside because all we're doing is telling ourselves that we're worthy, right? All we're doing is telling ourselves that we're confident. All we're doing is telling ourselves that we deserve it. And so even though we are, changing the conversation happening inside of our minds, for some reason, it never seems to stick. How many of you guys feel like that? How many of you guys feel like sometimes when you're saying those words to yourself, like I am powerful, or I am worthy, or I deserve success, or I am abundant, or money comes to me frequently, easily, and effortlessly? How many of you feel that even though you're speaking the words and you can hear them and you're saying them, they don't actually stick and they don't actually land for a long enough period of time to actually do anything? If you resonate with that, just like nod your head or say I do, right? Like if you resonate with that, like even though you're saying the words, they're not fucking landing. And because they're not landing, it feels like they're not working. And then you start saying to yourselves, like, this shit isn't working. It's not landing, right? It's not landing. So on one side of the equation, we have the actions, right? We have the day-to-day actions that we take that will build our confidence and build our esteem. And I believe that a lot of people, and we see this in fitness, right? How many of you guys have ever met somebody that's really in shape, but struggles with confidence? That's really in shape, but is very insecure. That's really in shape, but doesn't actually feel good about themselves or has body dysmorphia. How many of you guys have ever met somebody that has a really successful business, but they're really fucking negative? They have a really successful business, but they're super anxious. They have a really successful business, but they have a shit relationship, right? So like we've got the actions that are supposed to lead to self-esteem and confidence happening, but we're missing the words. And let's flip it to the other side, right? How many of you guys know this person that always talks about how they want to be successful, but never does anything? How many of you guys know a person who always says they're going to change their life? They always say with their words that now is the time. They always say they're going to fully commit with their words. And then, over a certain period of time, they don't actually fully commit with the words. And so they end up back in the same place mentally, even though they want to change their life. They're almost living this fucking Groundhog Day. So they're saying that they want to change their life, and then they get discouraged, and then they stop saying that. And then they say that they want to change their life, and then they get discouraged, and then they stop saying that. How many of you guys know somebody like that, or that is you? If it is, let me know. So we've got two sides of the coin that create self-esteem, right? Two sides of the coin. We've got words and we've got actions, right? We've got words and we've got actions. Now, most people never develop real self-esteem because they're focused on one or the other. One or the other. It's like I'm taking the actions, but I'm not nice to myself. Or I'm nice to myself, but I'm not taking the actions. It's one or the other, right? We don't have both. We have one or the other. And so write this in the chat. You need words and actions for self-esteem. Words plus actions plus something else equals self-esteem. We're going to talk about something else in a second. Words plus actions equals self-esteem. We're missing one key ingredient. We're going to talk about that in a second. Words plus actions. Write that down. Words plus actions. Now, I'm going to flip this coin for a second. We're going to change the angle of the conversation and we're going to have a brief chat about momentum. So, all of you guys listening to this right now, I want you to think about this question for a second, okay? How many of you have ever taken the actions that you know you needed to do to be successful and you were speaking positively about yourself for a day and then the next day something happened and you didn't feel as awesome and you didn't feel as good? If so, say me. So how many of you have ever taken the actions that you know you were supposed to do to be successful? You said the words to yourself and you felt confident, assured, and powerful, and you felt good for a day, but then the next day you didn't. If that's you, let me know. Because words plus actions equal self-esteem. However, there's one other key ingredient that comes into play that all of you guys need to listen to if you want to be successful, if you want to get ahead of the game, if you want to stop fucking yo-yoing in your life in general. If you want to stop yo-yoing, you need to make a full-ass commitment that you're going to execute this next thing that I'm going to say to you, because it is not just about the things that you say to yourself, and it is not just about the actions that you take. It is also about this one key ingredient that without this, everything else is irrelevant. Everything else is meaningless. Everything else doesn't matter, because without this key ingredient, you will never be successful. So we've got the words, we've got the I am powerful, I am worthy, I deserve this, I'm abundant, everything I touch turns to gold, I'm the motherfucking one, you cannot touch me. Every loss is an opportunity to win. Every adversity brings a seed of equal or greater opportunity. I can't be stopped. I won't be stopped. I am absolutely fucking unstoppable. Those are the words, right? And then we've got the actions. We've got the posting on social media. We've got the going to the gym. We've got the, being a fucking good person to our significant other. We've got the being a good person to ourselves. We've got the acts of self-love towards self. So we've got the words and we've got the actions. And the last thing that we need, write this in the chat, is time. The last thing that we need, write this in the chat, is time. The last thing that we need is time. The last thing that we need is time. You cannot have a permanent change in your life without a permanent change in your actions. And so many of you struggle because you make temporary changes to your actions, not permanent ones. I make concrete choices and I never go back on them. And when I make a decision to cut off all other alternatives, that I'm going to be successful, I'm going to be abundant, I'm going to be wealthy, I say those words to myself every day. I am successful, I am abundant, I am wealthy, I am powerful, I am the one. I cannot be stopped. I am him. Everything I touch turns to gold. I am abundant. Money comes to me frequently, easily, and effortlessly. I am the motherfucking one. So I say those words every day. Every day, every day, every day, and it's over and over and over and over again. And because I say those words every day, over and over and over again, I say them in the morning, I say them in the middle of the day, I say them in the afternoon, I say them in the evening. I think about them when I'm at my workout. Every time I catch a negative thought, I replace it with a positive affirmation. I do that every single day. And then every single day, I'm taking the right actions. I'm posting on social media. I'm doing my live streams. I'm doing my coaching calls. I'm reaching out to people. I'm treating people well. I'm showing up as a good person. When somebody acts to me negatively, I turn that into positivity. When adversity comes my way, I turn that into opportunity. I'm always taking the positive actions that are going to move my life forward because I know my goals, my dreams, my destination. I know the place I'd like to reach. And so every day I say to myself, I'm the motherfucking one. And I'm taking the actions. And every day I say to myself, I am unstoppable. And I'm taking the actions. And every single day I say to myself, everything I touch turns to gold. And I'm taking the actions. And because I do this every single fucking day, I wake up with esteem. I wake up with confidence. I wake up with power. I wake up in the morning feeling fucking amazing because I have been doing this for an extended period of time. Guys, it's like, if you think about how many thoughts go through your head on a day-to-day basis, think about this. How many thoughts go through your head on a day-to-day basis. You think tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of thoughts. Most of them are not even with your conscious awareness. If we even consider the idea that a lot of the thoughts that we think are not even, we're not even aware of them, why would we not take full control of that idea and make the decision that we are going to do this multiple times a day, every day? It's like multiple times a day, every day. It's like, yes, I've got my 15-minute morning ritual that I do in the morning. And I've also got a 15-minute ritual after I'm stretching. And I've also got a 15-minute ritual before I go to bed, because I want to plug all of the words that are going to make me be successful inside of my mind. And I want to cast these spells upon myself to become more successful, to become more confident, to become more worthy, to become more powerful. And that is something that is completely within my control, because every day God gave me breath, and God gave me thoughts, and God gave me a mind, and he gave me the ability to direct the flow of my mind. And so why would I not spend as much time as I possibly can aiming my thoughts at thoughts of success, aiming my words at words of affirmation, aiming my mindset at things to be grateful for, things to be optimistic about, things to be excited about? It's every single day, multiple times a day, over and over and over again. And over a period of time, what will happen is your mindset, your confidence, your skill set, your ability will just grow. Like, guys, look at nature. Like, how long do you think it takes to grow a tree, right? How long do you think it takes to grow a tree that stands the test of time versus how long do you think it takes to grow a weed? You can grow a weed in a week. Growing a tree takes a lot fucking longer. And so many of you guys have all of these weeds in your mind, and you have all of these negative thoughts that you entertain, and you have all these pessimistic outlooks that you consider, and you think about those things. And so even though you're taking the actions that are supposed to grow your coaching business, because it's not backed up with the amount of words that you need to say to yourself over and over and over again to feel that confidence, to feel that success, you end up working yourself and not getting anywhere because your words don't match your actions. This is a game of the fucking mind. This is a game of consciousness. This is a game of perception. This is a game of attitude. This is a game of optimism. This is a game of gratitude. And the only way you get yourself to those states, you get yourself to those places, you get yourself to that feeling is by changing the words that you're saying to yourself. Self-esteem is a result of words plus action plus time. That's where you get self-esteem. And self-esteem is this internal feeling of absolute conviction, absolute faith, and absolute confidence. I know for a fact I'm going to win. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and it's a matter of how much. There's no question. There's no doubt. Of course, sometimes there's anxiety that it creeps in because I'm a fucking human being. I'm not a robot. Of course, there's some time where this fear of failure creeps in, but then I smash that failure. I smash that fear. I smash those thoughts with overwhelming amounts of I'm the fucking one. I can't be stopped. This adversity is temporary. I'm a fucking beast. Everything that I touch turns to gold. When other people quit, I stay standing. I'm unstoppable. And because I choose to only entertain words that will grow my consciousness, that will help me get better, that will help me evolve, that will help my confidence, my self-esteem grows. Self-esteem equals words plus action plus time. And you can't rush the process. Like, some of you have been negative for the last 10 years. You've struggled with confidence your entire life, and you expect that your life is going to simply change with 1 week of affirmations. It doesn't work like that. Like, you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on to a frequency of lack of confidence. And so if you truly want to get yourself to a place where every day you wake up confident, you got to understand sometimes it's going to take a certain period of time to change that fucking radio station. Sometimes it's going to take some time to change that frequency. Sometimes it's going to take some time to change that attitude, to change that mindset, to change that mentality. And I understand the frustration, because when you come into this community and you see other people popping off, and then all of a sudden you're like, I've been here for a year. Homegirl joined fucking 60 days ago. She just hit 10K. What the fuck? I get the frustration, but you got to understand that self-esteem equals words plus action plus time. I got this shit. I'm fucking next. It's going to happen for me. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Everything I touch turns to gold. My social media is growing. My Instagram is growing. People want to hear my message. I'm fucking unstoppable. I'm great at content. I'm great at sales. I'm the fucking one. And then every day you're taking the actions. You're doing the role plays. You're studying content. You're getting better. And as you're studying, as you're getting better, you tell yourself, I'm the fucking one. I'm getting better at this shit. I'm a leader. I'm unstoppable. It's me. I'm the next one. Like, you just keep saying to yourself over and over and over again. And sooner rather than later, one day you have a big breakthrough. Bam, you hit $10,000 a month. And if this has happened to you, drop some fire and let me know. And then all of a sudden you get to $10,000 a month and what happens, right? You get to $10,000 a month and what happens? And then you start all of a sudden this negativity, this fear, this frustration starts creeping in. What if this is just luck? What if what if you lose everybody? What if everybody drops off my program? What if I'm not capable of the next level? How am I supposed to get my next $10,000 if I already absorbed all of the warm leads in my audience? And then these thoughts start creeping in at the next level, right? And then at the next level, you need to keep playing the same fucking game. This is just the beginning. I'm fucking unstoppable. I'm the one. Everything I touch turns to gold. And you need to keep changing the conversation. You need to keep changing the words while taking the actions that get you closer to success. And if you always change the words and you always make them positive, and if you always take the actions and every day you do what is required to get you to the next level, over a certain period of time, you're just going to wake up one day and you're just going to say, yes, yes, I get it. I understand. I understand the message that Brian was trying to say. I understand the mentality that I must adopt every single day. I understand the attitude that I must show up with every single day. I fucking get it. I understand. And when you understand, then you'll understand and you will never fucking miss, because you will know the value that comes with pouring everything you have into everything you do. And it's not just the mindset work. Like, yes, I pour everything I have into my mindset work, but I also pour everything I have into my business. I pour everything I have into my content, everything I have into my sales, everything I have into my people. And because I pour everything I have into everything that I do continues to grow. It's not a secret. And I don't hold back, and I don't have doubts, and I don't have fears. I fully commit, all in, nothing held back. There's no half-ass here. It's all ass, both cheeks. I'm all in. You have to change the words and you have to change the actions, and then you have to give it time. And this is the sad reality that I wish wasn't true, but it is. I honestly wish every single one of you could hit $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month. I honestly wish that. I really do. And I hope that you're one of the people that decides that, like, it's fucking you. There's a reason they call it the 1%. There's a reason they call it the 5%, the top 5%, the top 10%. There's a reason, because 99% of people do not have what it takes to go all in with your words, all in with your actions, nothing held back, ever. You're going to fall flat on your face. You're going to feel feelings of failure. You're going to want to quit. You're going to want to tap out. You're going to want to tune out. You're going to want to fucking throw up the white flag and surrender. But if you can just fully commit all in with your words and your actions all day, every day, over an extended period of time, I fucking promise you, you will be a winner. You will be a winner. My biggest fear in life is waking up one day, recognizing that I'm near the end. Maybe I'm on my deathbed. I'm 86 years old. My family's standing around me. And I realized that I didn't go all in. I didn't tell myself I loved myself. I didn't tell myself I was confident. I didn't give myself the love that I deserved. I didn't change the conversation happening in my head. I didn't tell myself that I love my family. I didn't show my family that I love them with my actions. I didn't fully commit to my dreams and leave a legacy. I didn't do it. That's my biggest fear in life. And, 3 years ago, I had an experience that literally fucking completely transformed my life forever. And my grandpa was on his deathbed, and I looked at him and he looked at me, and we didn't say a word. He burst into tears. And when I looked in his eyes, all I could see in his eyes were regret. There were tears of regret. He always had an excuse. He always, he tried so many businesses and he always gave up. He never fully committed. He worked security his whole life. And there he was, 71, 72 years old, laying on his deathbed, looking in my eyes and crying. And he didn't need to say anything, because I knew those tears were regret. And I refused to do that. I refuse to have that be my story. You only get one fucking life. You only get one. You don't get two, you get one. So make the decision that it's you. You're the fucking one. You are the fucking one. You are the one that changes your family. You are the one that changes your community. You are the one that leads your social circle. You are the one that inspires people around you. You are the one that fucking makes it. You are the 1%. You are the 5%. It is you. If you're having a hard time this week, your homework is to come back and watch this live. I want you to take this into today. It's not just about the actions. It's also about the words. You have to give yourself the love. You have to give yourself the confidence. You have to give yourself the props that you deserve. So many of you guys are taking all these actions and trying to be successful, but then you don't like yourself because you're not where you want to be yet. You're angry at yourself because you're not where you want to be yet. You're annoyed with yourself because your content isn't hitting. And so you talk down to yourself while you're taking the actions that are going to get you closer to successful. Give yourself the love that you deserve. Give yourself the confidence that you deserve. That's it. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Self-esteem equals words plus actions plus time. Love y'all. See you in the next one. Peace.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.